Now, I don't know why people don't say, why did he not do that? Why is he fighting the cops for the 400th time? No accountability. Why didn't the cops de-escalate? Why did your daddy out here committing crimes and fighting cops with a knife in his hand trying to stab people? If you're looking for the best bourbon on the market, look no further. Verdict Bourbon is the best. Guilty is a straight bourbon, traditional way you drink bourbon, but incredibly smooth, 6-year aged. And then the Not Guilty has brown sugar in it. It is the best entry-level bourbon that you can ever taste. People that are not fans of bourbon, they typically love Not Guilty better. It's got a little sweet finish to it, 6-year aged. Therefore, and it's still 90 proof, so it got a little strength on it, so you got to watch out for it. But it's good. You can mix it in drinks, all of the above. But make sure you drink responsibly. I don't support people that get out here and get drunk and all that stuff. Just look, man, drink it, have a good time, sip. It's the best sip. You can sip it neat and then go on about your business, all right? Verdict Bourbon, you must be 21 and over, drink responsibly. All right, let's get to the shooting here because I have my opinions about this shooting. It's not from this angle as clean as I would like to be able to give a definitive statement of justification. But when I look at the totality of circumstances and I look at the law that's applicable in this situation, it appears that they used the use of force continuum to the T. They used hand control. They tried to use a taser. The taser deployed didn't work. He produced a knife, and then they used deadly force. So the force continuum that they used, according to what we can see, was textbook. And then I want people to understand this. You may not like the reality of this, then vote to change the law. But the reality is, if a person produced a deadly weapon and any officer that's engaged with him feel that there's threat of serious bodily injury or death, then they can utilize deadly force against him. Now, I want people to understand deadly force utilization and death are two different things that are unrelated and they really do not matter. So whether a person die does not mean that the officer is justified or not. Because an officer can shoot somebody justifiably and they can live or die, and none of that matters when you look at justification. They can unjustly shoot somebody and they can live or die, and none of that matters because they were unjust when they shot the person. Based on the preliminary evidence that I'm looking at and I'm watching with my own eyes, I believe at this point, given the fact that he produced a knife after all of this, that the shooting was justified. Roll the clip. Pause. So as you see, they're fighting this guy. The camera shows up after they have already been fighting with him. He's clearly incredibly strong because 5 officers can't even get him on the ground. Some of them on their knees. He's still standing up and doing all this. They deploy the taser. It does not appear that the taser was as effective as it should have been. And then you watch the video here, you're going to see them remove the knife and throw it off to the side because he clearly had a knife in his hand, as you can see, the direction and where they pulled it from and the fact that the officer had been yelling knife, knife, knife before the shooting even happened. Roll the clip. Watch this. Threw the knife back there from his hands, not his waistband, from his hands. Now, I don't know why people don't say, why did he not do that? Why is he fighting the cops for the 400th time? No accountability. Why didn't the cops de-escalate? Why did your daddy out here committing crimes and fighting cops with a knife in his hand trying to stab people? I want to give y'all a rundown of his rap sheet. He got a rap sheet like Lil Wayne wrote this. Y'all don't get it. Lil Wayne is a rapper. Okay, let's look at some of this stuff. Let's go here. Now let's start from the top. Corey Darrell Ruiz. 38-year-old man was fatally shot by Madison police on July the 22nd, 2026 after police say he produced a fixed blade knife during a struggle, injuring an officer and continuing to resist after taser was deployed. We're going to talk about the use of force continuum here in a minute and why I think that they use the use of force continuum according to the textbook. Based on Wisconsin Circuit Court access records reviewed by Wisconsin Right Now, Ruiz had at least 22 reported criminal convictions dating back to 2007. 22 convictions. Not arrest, convictions. You know how much crime you have to do? If you got a conviction every month, you almost got a conviction every month for 2 years. Let's go through his charges. I want to start in 2007 and watch his criminal spree go up from there. In 2007, misdemeanor disorderly conduct. This conviction breakdown came from a review of Wisconsin CCAP records. 2009, 2 felony strangulation or suffocation convictions. Felony robbery with the use of force. I wonder who he strangled. Probably a black person, and they don't care about that person. 2013, 2 misdemeanor theft convictions. 2014, felony cocaine possession, felony marijuana possession, misdemeanor theft, felony bail jumping, misdemeanor battery. Still ain't doing no real time. Because 6 years later, he's in it again. 2020, 2 misdemeanor disorderly conduct convictions, felony bail jumping, misdemeanor taking or operating a motor vehicle without the owner's consent, which is stealing somebody's car. 2021, a year later. These are convictions, y'all. This not arrest, it's convictions. Just 1 year later, felony resisting an officer causing substantial bodily harm or soft tissue injury, felony battery or threat against a judge, prosecutor, or law enforcement officer, misdemeanor operating or taking motor vehicle without owner's consent. Still doing the same crime. A few years later, 2024, misdemeanor retail theft, misdemeanor resisting an officer, a second misdemeanor conviction for resisting an officer, misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia, a charge of battery or threatening a judge, prosecutor, or law enforcement officer was dismissed in one of these cases. From 2007 to 2024, 22 arrests. Let's go on because it continues down here. Additional criminal justice history. AP's independent review found that Ruiz had reportedly been jailed on cases involving failure to pay child support. He deserved to get shot for that. Now, let me stop. Failure to pay child support for that kid that's in this press conference that you're going to see that's crying, taking or driving vehicles without consent, bail jumping, threatening authorities, drug paraphernalia, resisting an officer, retail theft. Let me just say this last part. I've been going on and on, but I got to say it. Wisconsin Department of Corrections records reportedly showed that Ruiz was released extended supervision on May the 12th, 2026, approximately 10 weeks before the shooting. He's reportedly listed as a obscured from community service when he died. At the time of his death, he was on supervised release, a career thug. Let's get to the press conference real quick, and then we're going to show the shooting. I want to put this in perspective. Now, I saw reports that his family wasn't even involved in his life. He was homeless during this period of time, committing crimes every single year. And this is what they do in the press conference with Milk Dud Crump in the background. Roll the clip.
He did not deserve to be taken out like that. Mm-hmm. They took my baby from me.
Your baby.
I never thought I would have to bury my baby before you buried me. And I would never.
You didn't?
Yeah.
Time out. I know I'm trying to be sensitive, but y'all need to stop lying on these kids. You didn't think that he'd be buried before you? Strangulation, resisting arrest, police officers, felony arrest for almost 20 years straight? And you couldn't fathom that he may be killed in these streets. Okay, roll the clip.
Justice for Corey.
Here you go. Here you
Justice
go.
for Corey. Justice for Corey. Justice for Corey.
Justice for Corey.
He tried to do his best for me and his family.
I just wish it had been a different way.
Me too.
I would just wish, like, what if the police never been called? What if they just let him go? What if they de-escalated the situation?
Wow.
You can't sugarcoat it. You can't put a Band-Aid on it.
If this was your brother, if
Same
this was your father, if this was your son, what would justice look like to you? Well, that's exactly what we want. The same justice, equal justice, nothing more, nothing less. Madison, Wisconsin, the world is watching to see if Corey Ruiz can get justice in 2026.
Justice in 2026 would have been him being in prison already. He should have been in there for a long time because when he's not in there, he committing crimes, acting a fool. That's justice. What about justice for his victims that he got on his list right here? Now, instead of rational human beings, the melanated Negro, I'm talking about the dummies. Yeah, I always got to preface this because people are like, yeah, black people. I'm not talking about the smart ones like me and others. I'm talking about these idiots. At a press conference, look at the uncivilized behavior. The cop is trying to give a press conference, and this is what they do. Roll it.
Trust in the city right now did not start.
Well, we can shut this down. You can stop talking because we don't want to hear anything you've been saying. You're going to say the same thing you all say every time a black body gets shot down in this city. This is a corrupt city. That's right. Have no fear. The anti-Zionist is here. You understand me?
Time out, but how did the Jews get involved in this? How is the Jew, the anti-Zionist, what does that have to do with this brother getting killed by police after life of crime, violent crimes? All right, keep it going.
You won't be able to talk today because I'm going to keep talking because I was born to talk my talk and walk my walk too. I told these young people back here on our way here that we have the power, not that badge, not that weapon. We have the power. The city of Madison is corrupt from the DA to the what's the name of this? The Department of Independent Monitoring. We don't want any of that talk. You've given us this speech with you'll deliver justice. Oh, we've seen the cameras. We've seen. It was a knife in this young man's hand. We don't want to hear that today. We didn't want to hear it when they put their neck on George Floyd's neck. We don't their foot on George Floyd's neck, and we don't want to hear it today. What do you have to say about that? No. Oh, you don't get to talk, I said.
Right.
Go ahead.
Enough is enough.
I'll step aside.
That's right. Give me this microphone then. Excuse me. That's right. My name is Tom.
Look at these white people looking at this nut. What are you doing? Now, I think, see, people get mad at Brandon and go, you always talk about black people. Well, why more black people call this brother out then? Why do I got to be the only one call? This is ridiculous what he doing. It's ridiculous. It's funny that they are activists after you get killed. But when you terrorize in the community, your own people, these ain't no white victims here. I can put my career on it, no white victims. When you terrorize your own people, they ain't got nothing to say. Until you get killed, and then they want to be activists and think they cared about you. Roll the clip.
I represent APTAP, all power to all people, zero power to Zionists, zero power to capitalists, zero power to colonialism. What you are doing right now in this city is continuing the disgusting nature of colonialism. Come up here, this is our press conference, and I put my lips all over this microphone. Power to the people, no power to Zionists. That's right. Anybody got anything they want to say? Let us know. You got some questions y'all want to ask? Ask us some questions. We're taking questions. Anybody. I didn't think so. Turn up your Zionist noses, because your entire communications and media department is all about Zionism and colonialism. We will not stand. I am a part of the class that has been oppressed and struggled my entire life. My grandmother struggled. My mother struggled. Their grandmother struggled. Those people struggled. We go back far enough and we can see that there was a white European that colonized us, that stole land, that committed genocide right here on America. And you guys want to host your bourgeoisie revolution. You guys want to run your mouths about how disgusting socialism is. You haven't seen socialism, okay? You see my hand right here? This is how this is fragmentation. All of these struggles, Palestine, Congo, America, Sudan,
All right,
Venezuela.
he didn't forgot about his boy down there in the corner that got killed by the police. He talking about Zionists. And then if that one ignorant Negro wasn't enough, here's his kinfolk. Roll the clip.
So we gotta have a conversation. No, we don't have to monopolize to get our points.
This microphone ain't even on. Ain't that? And what we have already been through. There is no difference. This is the clown show.
Let him finish so that we can actually hear the
And now you're yelling at a black woman, continuing to discuss it. I don't care. No, you don't get to walk up on me, brother. You don't get. It don't matter. You don't get. I ain't no shaking no hands with no imperialists. I don't do that. Okay, you're in my space right now too. Now I'm gonna back up right here, and if you keep walking up on me, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
You want him to calm down.
This ain't your show, brother.
We're tired. I'm tired too.
Time out. This is the epitome of the failures. You got a gay dude over here without a daddy in his life, just soft as a marshmallow in a wet toilet paper, arguing with another young lady who's silly, and this other dude talking about Zionist. There is no black people that I see in this thing, in my opinion, that's like representing properly. The one down there at the bottom been committing crimes his whole life they didn't care about till he died at the hands of police, and then he's ignorant when taking over the press conference. Y'all just make all black people look bad, even though all black people ain't stupid like this. But y'all making us look bad. Roll the clip.
He gonna have a conversation, or he gonna hear what they got going on and how they got it going on. This is a new show, and we ain't running it like that. Let the police chief finish saying what he gotta say, so we can get our information that we need, and we can run with it.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Look, this is not your show. Here's the thing. We all witnessed on social media last night a human being take the life of another human being.
Because I'm like that.
No, you're not.
I'm like that.
Because if you was, you'd have did
I'm
something.
like that.
Do it. You talk. Show me how like that you are then.
Can media
Please continue on with what you gotta say, and please respond to any questions that is asked when you open the floor.
Clearly, trust is not. So in accordance. I will.
Say you gonna let him finish? Let him finish.
My friend, I will take every question you have.
This is what's wrong with white people. Let me say this: y'all too nice. Y'all too nice. Y'all just kissing these. At what point y'all gonna grow a pair and say you're not finna interrupt this press conference because you black and you think you got a grievance? You finna go to jail. This is disorderly conduct. You're disrupting all of this press conference. This is a place where people can come together and they have a right to hear what the chief has to say. You can't come and just disrupt that. Let me move on. I swear, if it wasn't a black person in their grievances, you go to jail doing that. You go to your local press conference and do what he just did. They're gonna ask you to leave, and if you don't, you're going to jail. But they're afraid of these black people because they won't stand up. When Benjamin Crump come into town, everybody tuck their tail between their legs and go hiding. At some point, white people, y'all got to say, enough is enough, man. We didn't do nothing wrong. Enough is enough. I'm tired of you Negroes blaming us for all y'all woes. At some point, y'all gonna have to stand up and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We ain't had nothing to do with this. You don't get to cry because your great-grandma was a slave. Great-great-grandma was a slave. You don't get to come here and none of us were slaves and we don't know no slaves.